The message came on a Tuesday. Earth had been invited to send representatives to the Galactic Council. After decades of watching distant stars and wondering, humanity finally had proof they weren't alone. Lieutenant Alex Morgan stood at attention in the briefing room of the North American Space Command. His uniform was pressed perfectly, his posture rigid. Around him, military and scientific leaders argued about who should represent Earth in this historic meeting. "We need someone who understands conflict," General Powell said. "These aliens might not have friendly intentions. But we also need to show we're not just warriors," Dr. Keller countered. "We need a scientist too." The debate went back and forth for hours. Finally, the decision was made. Lieutenant Morgan would go as the military representative. His combat experience and quick thinking made him ideal. And for the scientific mind, they chose Dr. Lisa Wright, one of Earth's leading xenobiologists. Lisa sat in her lab when she got the news. She had been studying a strange fungus found near a meteor crash site when her phone rang. At first, she thought it was a joke. Then she realized it was real. She would be one of the first humans to meet aliens. 2 days later, Alex and Lisa met, for the first time at the Space Center. "Lieutenant Morgan," Alex said, extending his hand. Lisa shook it firmly. "Dr. Wright, I guess we're making history together." They had 1 week to prepare. Military experts taught them about security protocols. Diplomats coached them on formal greetings. Scientists briefed them on what little they knew about alien biology. The most important briefing came from Admiral Hayes. "You need to understand something," he told them in a private meeting. "We've learned that most alien species consider Earth a death world." "A what?" Lisa asked. "A death world. A planet so harsh and dangerous that it's surprising any intelligent life evolved there at all. Our gravity is stronger than most inhabited planets. Our atmosphere has more oxygen. We have extreme weather, earthquakes, and dangerous wildlife. And humans evolved to survive all that." Alex frowned. "So we're the tough guys of space?" "Yes, and that makes other species nervous. To them, we're like walking tanks. They're afraid of us. Remember that when you're there." On the day of departure, Alex and Lisa boarded the newly completed EAS Horizon. It was humanity's first faster-than-light ship, built with technology provided by the Galactic Council as a gesture of goodwill. Captain Daniels welcomed them aboard. "The journey will take 3 days at FTL speeds. The Council meets at a space station called Nexus 7. As the Horizon left Earth orbit, Lisa stared out the viewport at her home planet growing smaller. "Nervous?" Alex asked, joining her. "Terrified," she admitted. "Everything I've studied, all my theories about alien life. I'm about to find out how wrong I was." Alex smiled slightly. "I'm scared too, but we can't show it. Earth is counting on us." During the journey, they studied the limited files the Council had sent. There were 27 member species from worlds very different from Earth. Most evolved on low-gravity planets with stable climates and few predators. "No wonder they think we're scary," Lisa said, reviewing the data. "We evolved being chased by lions in surviving ice ages." On the 3rd day, Captain Daniels called them to the bridge. "We're approaching Nexus 7. Through the main viewport, they saw it, a massive ring-shaped station spinning slowly in the emptiness of space. Hundreds of ships of different designs moved around it like bees around a hive. "It's beautiful," Lisa whispered. The S-Horizon docked with a gentle hiss at Nexus 7. Alex and Lisa waited by the airlock, both trying to hide their nervousness. "Remember," Alex said quietly, "we represent all of humanity now." The door slid open. Standing before them was a slender figure with blue-green skin. It had large, bulging eyes and thin limbs that seemed too fragile to support even its light frame. When it spoke, its voice came out in musical tones that their translators converted to English. "Welcome to Nexus 7. I am Krell Knox, your assigned liaison. Please follow me." As they stepped onto the station, Alex immediately felt lighter. Lisa noticed it too. "The gravity," she whispered. "It's lower than Earth's." Krell Knox overheard her. "Yes. The station maintains standard galactic gravity, which is approximately 0.7 of your Earth gravity. Most species find Earth normal conditions challenging. They followed Krellnox down a wide corridor. Aliens of various shapes and sizes moved past them. Some walked on multiple legs, others glided on what looked like cushions of air. All of them gave the humans a wide berth. "They're afraid of us," Alex noted. "They are cautious," Krellnox corrected politely. "You are from a Class 5 death world. Most beings here evolved on Class 1 or Class 2 worlds." Lisa was fascinated by every alien they passed. She wanted to stop and study them all, but there was no time. Krellnox kept a brisk pace. They entered a large transport tube that moved them toward the inner ring of the station. Through clear walls, they could see the entire structure spinning slowly around them. The station houses ambassadors from all 27 council species, Krellnox explained. The outer rings contain living quarters, the middle rings are for commerce and recreation, and the inner ring holds the council chambers. The transport stopped and they exited into another corridor. This one was wider and more. Alex nodded, but his mind was on their mission. Two humans, two Deathworlders, were about to enter a place where they weren't fully trusted. Everything they did would shape how aliens viewed Earth for generations to come. "Ready?" he asked Lisa. She took a deep breath. "As ready as I'll ever be." The Horizon moved toward the docking bay, carrying humanity's future with it. The message came on a Tuesday. Earth had been invited to send representatives to the Galactic Council. After decades of watching distant stars and wondering, humanity finally had proof they weren't alone. Lieutenant Alex Morgan stood at attention in the briefing room of the North American Space Command. His uniform was pressed perfectly, his posture rigid. Around him, military and scientific leaders argued about who should represent Earth in this historic meeting. "We need someone who understands conflict," General Powell said. "These aliens might not have friendly intentions. But we also need to show we're not just warriors," Dr. Keller countered. "We need a scientist too." The debate went back and forth for hours. Finally, the decision was made. Lieutenant Morgan would go as the military representative. His combat experience and quick thinking made him ideal. And for the scientific mind, they chose Dr. Lisa Wright, one of Earth's leading xenobiologists. Lisa sat in her lab when she got the news. She had been studying a strange fungus found near a meteor crash site when her phone rang. At first, she thought it was a joke. Then she realized it was real. She would be one of the first humans to meet aliens. 2 days later, Alex and Lisa met, for the first time at the Space Center. "Lieutenant Morgan," Alex said, extending his hand. Lisa shook it firmly. "Dr. Wright, I guess we're making history together." They had 1 week to prepare. Military experts taught them about security protocols. Diplomats coached them on formal greetings. Scientists briefed them on what little they knew about alien biology. The most important briefing came from Admiral Hayes. "You need to understand something," he told them in a private meeting. "We've learned that most alien species consider Earth a death world." "A what?" Lisa asked. "A death world. A planet so harsh and dangerous that it's surprising any intelligent life evolved there at all. Our gravity is stronger than most inhabited planets. Our atmosphere has more oxygen. We have extreme weather, earthquakes, and dangerous wildlife. And humans evolved to survive all that." Alex frowned. "So we're the tough guys of space?" "Yes, and that makes other species nervous. To them, we're like walking tanks. They're afraid of us. Remember that when you're there." On the day of departure, Alex and Lisa boarded the newly completed EAS Horizon. It was humanity's first faster-than-light ship, built with technology provided by the Galactic Council as a gesture of goodwill. Captain Daniels welcomed them aboard. "The journey will take 3 days at FTL speeds. The Council meets at a space station called Nexus 7. As the Horizon left Earth orbit, Lisa stared out the viewport at her home planet growing smaller. "Nervous?" Alex asked, joining her. "Terrified," she admitted. "Everything I've studied, all my theories about alien life, I'm about to find out how wrong I was." Alex smiled slightly. "I'm scared too, but we can't show it. Earth is counting on us." During the journey, they studied the limited files the Council had sent. There were 27 member species, from worlds very different from Earth. Most evolved on low-gravity planets with stable climates and few predators. No wonder they think we're scary, Lisa said, reviewing the data. We evolved being chased by lions and surviving ice ages. On the third day, Captain Daniels called them to the bridge. We're approaching Nexus 7. Through the main viewport, they saw it. A massive ring-shaped station spinning slowly in the emptiness of space. Hundreds of ships of different designs moved around it like bees around a hive. It's beautiful, Lisa whispered. Alex nodded, but his mind was on their mission. 2 humans, 2 Deathworlders, were about to enter a place where they weren't fully trusted. Everything they did would shape how aliens viewed Earth for generations to come. Ready? He asked Lisa. She took a deep breath. As ready as I'll ever be. The horizon moved toward the docking bay, carrying humanity's future with it. Morning came quickly on Nexus 7. Alex woke before the station's lights brightened, years of military training making early rising a habit. He found Lisa already awake, studying files on the information terminal. I've been researching the Crodans, she said without looking up. They joined the Council 300 years ago, but they're not well liked. Their ambassador has to rotate every few years because the stress of being feared takes a toll on them. Alex nodded. Can we arrange a meeting? Already did, Lisa replied. Ambassador Vexcar agreed to meet us before the Council session. Apparently, we're quite interesting to them. Krelnox arrived an hour later to escort them to the meeting. As they walked through a different section of the station, Alex noticed even more aliens moving away from their path. They entered a small meeting room with walls that seemed to shift colors slowly. Waiting for them was a tall figure standing by a window. When it turned, both humans tried not to show their surprise. Ambassador Vexacar resembled a humanoid lizard. Scales covered its body in patterns of green and brown. A ridge of spines ran from its head down its back. Its yellow eyes, with vertical pupils, studied them carefully. The humans arrive, Vexcar said, its voice deep and rasping. Welcome, fellow Deathworlders. The Crodan extended a clawed hand. Alex shook it, noticing the firm grip and tough skin. Thank you for meeting us, Lisa said. Sit. Vexcar gestured to chairs designed for stronger bodies than most aliens possessed. We have much to discuss in little time. After Krelnox left them alone, Vexcar's formal manner dropped. You're walking into a trap, the Crodan said bluntly. This vote isn't just about quarantine. Some council members want to classify humans as a threat species. What does that mean? Alex asked. It means no human would ever leave your solar system again. The Council would place automated defenses around Earth to ensure you stay there. Lisa gasped. That's imprisonment of an entire species. Indeed, Vexcar nodded. My people faced the same threat once. We narrowly avoided it. How? Alex asked. By proving our worth. By showing the Council that Deathworld adaptations can benefit the galaxy, not threaten it. Vexcar touched a control on the table. A hologram appeared showing various aliens. The Council has 27 members, but only 5 truly matter for your case, Vexcar explained. The Hylarians are your greatest threat. They fear physical strength and see it as primitive. The Kelthar value science and might support you if you impress them intellectually. The Wavani are cautious but fair. The Drell are fearful of everything. And the Primarchs hold the deciding votes. What about the Crodans? Lisa asked. We will support you, but our influence is limited. The Council remembers when a Crodan diplomat accidentally killed a Drell by simply patting its back. Our strength was not calibrated for their fragility. Alex looked troubled. We could face the same problems. Yes, Vexcar agreed. Be careful of every movement you make. Be aware of your strength at all times. Lisa was taking notes. Who leads the movement against us? Admiral Zor of the Hylarians. He has never forgotten how a group of Crodans once resisted a Hylarian incursion into their space. He fears what humans might do with advanced technology. Their discussion continued until a chime sounded, indicating the council session would soon begin. As they prepared to leave, Vexcar placed a scaled hand on Alex's shoulder. Remember, Lieutenant, in that chamber, show restraint. The corridor leading to the council chamber was wide and lined with moving images that showed different worlds. Alex, Lisa, and Vexcar walked slowly, passing by pictures of planets much gentler than Earth or the Krodan homeworld. These are the member worlds, Vexcar explained. Notice how green and calm they appear. No violent storms, no major tectonic activity, no large predators. Lisa studied the images. They really did evolve in paradise compared to us. As they neared the main entrance, they encountered a group of aliens in flowing blue robes. One was taller than the rest, with pale skin that seemed almost translucent. 4 arms emerged from its torso, and its eyes were large and completely black. Admiral Zor, Vexcar said quietly, head of the Hylorian delegation. Admiral Zor looked down at the humans, his face showing what might have been discussed. So these are the Earth specimens, smaller than I expected for creatures from such a brutal world. Alex kept his expression neutral, remembering Vexcar's warning about showing restraint. We're honored to address the council, he said calmly. Yes, well, Zor replied. Not everyone shares the honor of your presence. Some of us understand the dangers inherent in species that evolved through constant violence. Lisa stepped forward. Actually, Admiral, competition is only one aspect of evolution. Cooperation is equally important. Humans survived through working together, not just through physical strength. Zor's eyes narrowed. Save your lectures for the council, human. They may be more receptive to your theories. The Hylorian group moved on, but one of the smaller aliens lingered, looking at them with what seemed like curiosity rather than fear. It quickly rejoined its group when Zor called out. That's Nellis, Vexcar said, a junior member of the Hylorian Science Division. Not all Hylorians share Zor's views. They continued toward the chamber entrance where Krelnox waited for them. I must prepare you, the liaison said nervously. There has been an incident. What kind of incident? Alex asked. During preliminary meetings this morning, a human chemical emission caused a delegate to collapse. Lisa looked confused. Chemical emission? I believe humans call it a sneeze, Krelnox said. The Trilaxian delegate was exposed and suffered respiratory distress. Alex remembered a minor technician sneezing while passing them in a corridor. Is the delegate all right? Yes, they recovered quickly, but rumors are spreading about human biological weapons. Lisa sighed. It wasn't a weapon. Human sneezes are involuntary responses to irritants. Nevertheless, Krelnox continued, the council has scheduled an emergency session specifically to address the human threat before the main vote on Earth status. Vexcar growled softly. This is Zor's doing. He's using fear to push his agenda. The grand doors to the council chamber opened. Inside was a vast circular room with tiered seating. Representatives from 27 species sat in sections, marked with their world symbols. In the center was a raised platform where speakers could address everyone. Remember, Vexcar whispered. Move slowly, speak calmly, and show them humans are more than just strong bodies from a harsh world. They entered the chamber. Immediately, a hush fell over the gathered aliens. All eyes turned to watch the 3 Deathworlders, 2 humans and 1 Krodan, as they walked toward their designated area. Alex felt the weight of those stares. He carefully moderated his steps, conscious that even his normal walking might seem aggressive to these beings from gentle worlds. Lisa looked up at the highest tier where 5 ornate chairs stood. The Primarchs, she whispered. Just like Vexcar said. The 5 ancient beings who led the council watched silently. Their species was one of the first to achieve space travel, and now they guided galactic politics from their lofty position. As they reached their seats, a chime sounded through the chamber. The emergency session about humanity was about to begin. In all things. A raised voice, a quick movement. These can be seen as threats from a Deathworlder. And you, Doctor, the Krodan turned to Lisa. Your knowledge is your weapon. Use it. They walked together toward the council chamber, 2 humans and 1 Krodan, 3 Deathworlders among the stars, about to face judgment from those who feared what they did not understand. "Whatever happens in there," Alex said quietly, "we face it together." Lisa nodded, squaring her shoulders. "For Earth." The oldest Primarch rose from his seat. His skin was pale blue and his eyes held the wisdom of centuries. "This emergency session will now begin," he announced, his voice amplified throughout the chamber. "We are here to discuss the potential threat posed by the human delegation and by extension Earth itself." Admiral Zor moved to the central platform, his forearms gesturing dramatically. "Esteemed council members," he began, "today we face a grave decision. The humans come from a world so violent that most of us would die within days of setting foot on it. Their bodies are built for combat, their instincts honed by millennia of survival against predators and each other." Alex and Lisa exchanged glances. They had expected opposition, but Zor's speech painted humans as monsters. "Just this morning," Zor continued, "we witnessed how dangerous even their biological functions can be. A single respiratory expulsion, what they call a sneeze, nearly killed Ambassador Trex of the Trilaxians." Murmurs spread through the chamber. The Trilaxian representative, a thin being with translucent skin, nodded vigorously. Lisa whispered to Alex, "This is going badly. They're making normal human functions sound like weapons." Vexkar leaned toward them. "You must speak. Challenge his claims." Lisa stood up, moving carefully to appear non-threatening. "If I may address the council?" she asked. The Primarch nodded. "The human representative may speak." Lisa walked slowly to the center platform as Zor stepped aside, his expression cold. "Respected council members," she began. "What Admiral Zor describes as dangerous biological weapons are simply natural functions of our bodies. A sneeze is an involuntary response to irritants, not an attack. We apologize for any distress caused to Ambassador Trex, but I assure you it was not intentional." She paused, looking around the chamber. "Yes, Earth is what you call a death world. Our gravity is stronger, our weather more extreme, and our evolution more challenging than many of your worlds. But these conditions didn't make us violent. They made us adaptable." Some council members seemed to be listening intently. Others still looked fearful. "Humans have survived because we learned to work together," Lisa continued. "We built communities, created art, developed medicine, and reached for the stars just like you." Before she could finish, Admiral Zor interrupted. "Pretty words cannot hide the facts. Humans are physically capable of killing most species in this room with their bare hands. Should we wait until it happens to act?" The chamber erupted in worried conversation. The Primarch called for order. As the noise died down, Alex noticed something strange. Nellis, the junior Hylorian scientist, was trying to make eye contact with him. When their eyes met, Nellis subtly gestured toward a side corridor. Alex nudged Lisa when she returned to their seats. "I think someone wants to talk to us," he whispered. After several more speakers voiced concerns about humans, the Primarch called a short recess before the final vote. This was their chance. Alex, Lisa, and Vexkar slipped away from the main crowd. In a quiet corridor, they found Nellis waiting nervously. "I shouldn't be speaking to you," the young Hylorian said, looking around to ensure they weren't observed. "But Admiral Zor isn't telling the truth." "What do you mean?" Alex asked. "This isn't about protecting the Council from Deathworlders. There's another agenda." Nellis pulled out a small device and showed them a holo recording. In the recording, Admiral Zor spoke with other Hylorian officials. "Once we establish the precedent with Earth, we can extend the quarantine to other species. The Hylorian Imperium will control who gets access to space travel and who doesn't. We'll be the gatekeepers of the stars," Lisa gasped. "He's using fear of Deathworlders to gain political control over the Council." Alex, Lisa, and Vexkar huddled in the corridor, planning quickly before they needed to return to the Council chamber. "We need to expose Zor's plot," Lisa said, examining the recording device Nellis had given them. "But we can't just play this and expect everyone to believe us," Alex pointed out. "Zor will deny everything and claim it's fake." Vexkar's reptilian eyes narrowed in thought. We need to make him reveal himself, force his hand. The second chime sounded, warning that the recess was almost over. They needed to act fast. What if we could access the station's systems, Lisa suggested. I noticed something during our tour. Nexus 7 has environmental controls for each species. They adjust temperature, atmosphere, and gravity to make everyone comfortable. Alex caught on immediately. If we can control those systems, we might be able to stop whatever Zor has planned. I can help with that, Vexcar said. Crodans have been on this station for centuries. We know its systems better than most. They quickly formed a plan. Lisa would use her scientific knowledge to figure out what Zor might try. Alex would protect the evidence and be ready to act physically if needed. Vexcar would try to access the station's systems from a terminal near their seats. As they re-entered the council chamber, they noticed something different. Security drones now floated near the ceiling. They hadn't been there before. Those are Hylorian security units, Vexcar whispered. Zor must have brought them in during the recess. They took their seats as the Primarch called the session back to order. Admiral Zor once again stood at the central platform. Honorable Council, he began. The time for discussion is over. The time for action is now. I propose an immediate vote on quarantining Earth and classifying humans as a threat species. Many delegates appeared surprised at this rush to judgment. The Kelthar representative, a tall being with crystalline skin, raised an objection. This is not our normal process. The humans deserve a full hearing. Admiral Zor spread his forearms wide. Dangerous times require decisive action, but to ensure everyone feels this is fair, I invite the human representatives to make one final statement before we vote. Alex stood up. I accept. As he walked to the platform, Lisa whispered to Vexcar, Can you access the system? Vexcar subtly touched a panel on their seating area. Working on it, Alex stood before the council, feeling the weight of Earth's future on his shoulders. He noticed the security drones moving slightly closer. Members of the Galactic Council, he began, I stand before you not just as a human, but as a representative of a species that values peace and cooperation. We may have evolved on a harsh world, but that harshness taught us compassion. When your environment is dangerous, you learn to help each other survive. As Alex spoke, Lisa examined the room carefully. She noticed small vents opening near the ceiling. Something was happening with the environmental systems. Vexcar was working frantically on the hidden terminal. Something's wrong, he whispered to Lisa. Someone's overriding the atmospheric controls. Alex continued his speech, unaware of the danger. Earth wishes to join the galactic community as partners, not threats. We have much to offer. Suddenly, a fine mist began to spray from the vents. Several delegates noticed and looked up in alarm. What's happening? The Wavani representative called out. Admiral Zor stood calmly. A security measure. We detected dangerous biological elements from the human delegation. The spray will neutralize any threat, but Lisa had figured it out. It's a setup. That spray is harmless to most species, but it will make humans appear violent. It contains compounds that irritate human skin and airways. Even as she said it, Alex felt his skin begin to burn. His eyes watered and his throat tightened. Fighting the reaction would be nearly impossible. Zor smiled coldly. See how the human reacts? This is their true nature, violent and unpredictable. Vote now to protect our galaxy. The council erupted in chaos as Alex struggled to maintain his composure, fighting against his body's natural reactions to the chemical attack. There's more, Nellis said. Zor has planned something for the final session. I don't know exactly what, but he intends to ensure the vote goes his way. We need this evidence, Alex said. Nellis handed over the device. Be careful. If Zor discovers I helped you, a chime sounded, indicating the recess was ending. We have to get back, Vexcar said urgently. And we need a plan. Alex's skin burned and his eyes watered painfully. The chemical mist made his lungs feel like they were on fire. Every instinct told him to run, to fight, to do anything to escape the pain. But he stood firm on the platform, his military training, helping him resist the urge to react violently. The council chamber was in chaos. Many delegates were standing, unsure whether to flee or stay. The security drones moved closer to Alex, weapons ready. "This is what humans are," Admiral Zor shouted over the noise. "Even now he prepares to attack. The chemical only reveals his true nature." Lisa jumped to her feet. "It's a trick. The spray is designed to provoke a reaction. It's a setup." But her words were lost in the commotion. Meanwhile, Vexcar worked frantically at the terminal, trying to override the environmental systems. Alex locked eyes with Zor. Through the pain, he understood what the Admiral expected, for him to lash out, to prove that humans were violent, Deathworlders who couldn't control themselves. Instead, he slowly raised his hands to show he was not a threat, even as his body trembled with the effort to remain calm. "I will not fight," Alex said, his voice strained but clear. "This is not who we are." Some council members paused, watching the humans' restraint with surprise. This was not what they expected from a supposedly violent species. Suddenly, the station's alarms blared. Red lights flashed throughout the chamber. The doors sealed shut with heavy thuds. "Station lockdown activated," announced an automated voice. "All delegates must remain in the council chamber until security protocols are complete." Lisa realized what was happening. "Zor's taking control of the station. He's going to force the vote while we're all trapped here." Vexacar growled in frustration. "He's locked me out of the systems. I can't stop the chemical spray." The mist continued to pour from the vents. Now other delegates began to feel effects too, not as severe as Alex, but uncomfortable. Voices rose in alarm and confusion. Through his pain, Alex noticed Nellis, the junior Hylorian, moving toward a control panel near the main doors. Their eyes met briefly, and Nellis gave a slight nod before accessing the panel. Suddenly, the ventilation systems reversed. The mist began to clear as the air purifiers kicked in at maximum power. Admiral Zor noticed too. "Stop him," he ordered the security drones. Two of them broke off to intercept Nellis. Lisa saw the danger. "Alex, they're going to hurt Nellis." Despite his suffering, Alex moved. Years of training on Earth's punishing gravity made him faster and stronger than most beings in the room. He leaped from the platform, covering the distance to Nellis in seconds. His body, evolved on a death world, worked to his advantage now. He reached the young Hylorian just before the security drones. With careful precision, mindful of his strength, Alex placed himself between Nellis and the drones. "No more tricks." "Zor," Alex called out, his voice stronger now as the air cleared. "Show them the truth." Vexcar had finally bypassed the lockout. The main screen in the council chamber flickered to life, showing the recording Nellis had provided. Zor's own words echoed throughout the room. "Once we establish the precedent with Earth, we can extend the quarantine to other species. The Hylorian Imperium will control who gets access to space travel." The chamber fell silent. All eyes turned to Admiral Zor, whose face twisted with rage. "This is a fabrication," he shouted. The Deathworlders' Admiral Zor held up the small device, his finger hovering over a red button. "This will release a toxin lethal to Deathworlders but harmless to normal species. The humans and Crotons will die, but the rest of you will be safe." Panic spread through the chamber. Council members moved away from Alex, Lisa, and Vexcar. "That's a lie," Lisa said loudly, her scientific mind racing. "Any toxin powerful enough to kill Deathworlders would affect everyone here to some degree. He's putting all of you in danger too." Alex assessed the situation quickly. Zor stood on a raised platform with security drones surrounding him. The distance was too great to reach him before he could press the button. "Why are you doing this?" the Kelthar representative asked Zor. "This goes against everything the Council stands for." "Because the galaxy belongs to those who evolved properly," Zor spat, "not to monsters from nightmare worlds who could destroy us with their bare hands. The Hylorian Imperium will lead the galaxy to a more civilized future." Lisa caught Alex's eye and made a subtle gesture toward the ceiling. He understood immediately. The environmental control panels were directly above Zor's position. Alex looked at Vexcar, who nodded. The Crodan had seen the same opportunity. "Admiral Zor," Lisa said, stepping forward carefully. "As a scientist, I'm curious about this toxin. How does it target only Deathworlders? Our physiologies are quite different. She was stalling, giving Alex and Vexcar time to move into position. Zor seemed pleased to explain his brilliance. The toxin targets specific biological adaptations common to high-gravity worlds. Your dense muscle tissue, reinforced skeletal structure, efficient respiratory systems, the very things that make you dangerous, are your weaknesses now. While Zor spoke, Alex moved slowly along the edge of the chamber. Years of military training allowed him to blend into the background despite his Deathworlder physique. And you're certain it won't harm the council members? Lisa pressed, keeping Zor's attention. Only minimal effects. Perhaps some discomfort, nothing more. The eldest Primarch spoke up. This is not your decision to make, Admiral. Lower your device. It's too late, Zor replied. The humans have shown their true nature, now they face extinction. As his finger moved toward the button, Alex made his move. Using his Deathworld strength, he leaped upward, catching a structural beam and swinging toward the environmental panel above Zor. At the same time, Vexcar rushed forward, faster than most council members thought possible for his size. Zor looked up in alarm, but it was too late. Alex smashed the environmental panel, sending sparks flying and causing a small section of ceiling to collapse onto the platform. Zor stumbled, dropping the device. Vexcar dove forward, his scaled body sliding across the floor to grab the device before Zor could recover it. Using careful pressure from his clawed hands, he crushed the device completely. Security drones moved to attack, but the Primarchs called out, "Stand down! All security units, stand down immediately!" The drones halted as Lisa rushed to examine the crushed device. It was real, she confirmed grimly. A highly concentrated neurotoxin. It would have killed Alex and Vexcar quickly, but it would have caused severe damage to everyone in this chamber. No one would have escaped unharmed. You, council members stared at Zor in shock and anger. Guards took him away as he shouted threats and accusations. In the quiet that followed, Alex and Lisa stood side by side in the center of the chamber, a human male and female from Earth, representatives of a Deathworld species that had just helped save the council. The eldest Primarch approached them slowly. For centuries we have feared worlds like yours. We thought strength and resilience meant only danger and violence. Today we have seen that Deathworld traits can protect as well as harm. One by one, council members stood. Not in fear, but in respect. The vote on Earth's quarantine is cancelled, the Primarch announced. Instead, we will vote on a new matter. Formal recognition of Earth as a full member of the Galactic Council, with all rights and privileges. The vote was unanimous. As they left the chamber later, Alex looked at Lisa. 2 Deathworlders entered the council chamber. And the galaxy was never the same, she finished with a smile. They've tampered with our systems, but the evidence was clear. The Primarchs stood together, their ancient faces grave. Security units, stand down, ordered the eldest Primarch. Admiral Zor, you will explain your actions immediately. Instead, Zor pulled out a small device. If you won't protect our galaxy, I will. This station will be cleansed of all Deathworld contaminants. Lisa realized with horror what he meant. He's going to release something worse, something that could kill us all.